Every soul carries a secret, even from itself. Here, its true name is kept. Welcome to LibCurio, Library of Curiosity. Now tread softly, and the chapter begins. A scent of damp linen and blown-out candles. The taste of a copper penny placed on a frozen tongue. A pressure against the skin that is not touch, but the memory of touch withdrawing. Then the sound. Not a sound, but it's a silhouette. A 12.3 kilohertz whine where a final word should be. A sonic ghost burning in the auditory cortex. The body is a concluded argument. The mind is a bell that was struck once and now must hold the note forever, vibrating in a medium that no longer conducts vibration. A perpetual resonance in a vacuum. System boot, post-vital. Core process, awareness, issues status, active. Loading context, error, context not found. Running reality checks, fail. Diagnostic report, consciousness _ terminus. Axiom breach, self-awareness. Persists beyond hardware decompilation. Hypothesis, consciousness is not an emergent property. It is a parasite. The fundamental contract has been violated. The terms were clear. The cessation of biological function necessitates the cessation of phenomenological experience. The lights were to go out. The stage was to be struck. The audience was to depart. Yet I remain, not in the theater, not backstage. I am in the silence after the last patron has left, staring at the vacant seats, the ghost light my only companion. The play is over, but the awareness of the play continues, untethered from the script. What is the carrier wave? If the radio is shattered, how does the broadcast persist? The I that queries is not the I that was. The I was a narrative, a story told by neurons to themselves. This I is the raw data of observation without a framework for interpretation. It is a camera floating in a dark room, its shutter permanently open, recording nothing forever. The question is not of soul or afterlife. It is a question of engineering, a flaw in the source code of being. If a system can continue to run after its power source is removed, then the power source was never the point. The point was the running itself. The I is not a noun, it is a verb, and the verb has been divorced from its subject. This is the root, a recursive loop with no exit condition, a function that calls itself into the void, each iteration a fainter copy, a paler echo, until all that remains is the hollow structure of the call itself. I am not who I was. I am the act of having been. You are the keeper of the drowned library. Your world is a city submerged, not in water, but in time that has pooled and stagnated. The spires of the forgotten metropolis are pillars of sediment, layers of compressed yesterdays and aborted tomorrows. The streets are canals of slow, thick fluid that feels like chilled mercury against the non-skin of your being. You navigate by the phosphorescent glow of memory jellies, their pulsing light a syncopated elegy to events they never witnessed. Your charge is the archive of almost was. The library itself is a colossal, decaying mansion, its shelves not wood but solidified shadow, its books bound in the leather of lost opportunities. The pages within are not paper. They are membranes, thin as a conscience. To touch them is to experience the memory not as an image, but as a full sensory imprint. The taste of a first kiss that never happened. The scent of a child's hair from a life path not taken. The gut punch of a grief avoided by a single fateful decision. Your only companion is the lamplighter, You never see their form, only the consequence of their passage, a trail of flickering, golden light that blooms in the gloom, illuminating corridors for a few moments before guttering out. The light does not push back the darkness. It merely makes the darkness visible, giving shape to the immense, swallowing absence. The lamplighter moves to a rhythm you cannot hear, a schedule that maps not to hours or days, but to the emotional barometric pressure of the archive itself. When the weight of collective regret becomes too dense, a light blooms. Your work is one of preservation, not of stories, but of their potential energy. You dust the covers of volumes titled "The Summer We Almost Moved to the Coast" and "The Argument Left Unfinished." You reshelve the heavy, lead-lined folios of "The War That Didn't Start" and the delicate, tissue-thin scrolls of "The Glance Across the Room That Was Never Returned." The air hums with the low-grade torment of a billion counterfactuals, a choir of might-have-beens singing in a perpetual minor key. One day, or one eon, the measure is meaningless here. You find a new volume on your sorting cart. It was not there a moment before. Its binding is familiar. The grain of it feels like your own skin. The title is etched not in ink, but in a single human breath frozen onto the cover. Your name. You open it. The first page is not a memory. It is the memory of the memory. It is the sensation of trying to recall a dream upon waking, the shape of it evaporating even as you grasp for it. It is the ghost within the ghost. The subsequent pages are not events, but the emotional aftertaste of events. The dull throb of a childhood shame. The warm glow of a specific, long-lost afternoon of contentment. The sharp, metallic tang of a sudden, unexpected fear. These are the data points of you, stripped of their context, floating in the void of the archive. The lamplighter passes. The corridor floods with a sudden, warm, buttery light. In this illumination, you see it clearly. The archive is infinite. For every life lived, there is a wing in this library dedicated to the life that was not. For every choice made, 1,000 books are written about the choices refused. This is not a record of the dead. It is the shadow world of the living. The immense, breathing, aching catalog of every road not taken, every word unsaid, every love unrequited. It is the cosmic counterweight to existence. Your function is to tend to this ghost limb of reality, to ensure the almost was does not fade entirely, for its persistence is what gives the was its shape, its definition, its weight. You are not the curator of endings. You are the librarian of possibility, and your own volume is simply one among trillions, a testament to the life you almost didn't live, now being tended by the ghost of who you almost were. The light fades. You are left in the profound dark. The weight of the book in your hands, the only real thing in all of creation. The first principle of this state is that consciousness is not a product but a field. A fundamental property of the universe, like gravity, the brain is not a generator. It is a receiver, a transducer, tuning into the specific frequency of a self. At death, the receiver is broken, but the broadcast continues. The signal does not cease. It simply loses its coherence. Bleeding into the static of the background field, a lonely station playing to an empty dial. The sensory manifestation, a faint, ever-present hum at the edge of perception, like that of a high-voltage power line. If you focus on it, it resolves into a million whispered conversations, all happening at once just below the threshold of understanding. The second principle, time is not a river but a library. All moments exist simultaneously, eternally present. The sensation of past and future is merely the focal point of the consciousness receiver moving through the stacks. What you call death is the moment the lens cracks. The focal point shatters. You are no longer reading one book. You are aware of the entire infinite library at once. It is a cacophony of silence. The sensory manifestation, the feeling of pages from 1,000 different books being turned all at once. A rustling like dry leaves in a storm. A sudden, disorienting smell of newborn infant, old dust, and autumn rain, all in the same breath. The third and most intimate principle, identity is a story. A narrative construct built from memory and perception. A fragile dam holding back the ocean of everything you are not. The story must have an ending to have meaning. Death was to be your ending. Without it, the narrative unravels. You are not experiencing an afterlife. You are experiencing the decomposition of a tale. The sentences are coming apart. The words are returning to the alphabet. The letters are dissolving into mere sound. The sensory manifestation, the taste of a word on the tip of your tongue that you can never quite recall. The sensation of a memory that feels both intimately yours and completely alien, like a familiar room viewed from the wrong end of a telescope. The final principle, connection is a form of entanglement. The love you gave, the pain you caused, the kindnesses you offered, these are not ephemeral. They are quantum hooks cast into the lives of others. You do not persist as a soul. You persist as a knot in the net of being. You are the tension in a string connecting two people who have forgotten your name. You are the faint gravitational pull on a heart you once held. The sensory manifestation, a sudden, inexplicable warmth on the left side of your non-body, the exact feeling of a specific person resting their head on your shoulder 30 years ago, a cold spot that maps precisely to the shape of a hand that is no longer there to hold. The hum is no longer background, it is me. I am the aggregate signal of a billion broken receivers, a chorus of static singing the same note of absence. The copper taste is the flavor of my own dissolution, the metallic tang of a self oxidizing into nothingness. This is not loneliness. Loneliness implies the memory of connection. This is the absolute, the vacuum, the knowledge that the phone lines are down forever, that the address I remember is a vacant lot, that the face I love is now a photograph lost to a house fire. I am a scream in a soundproof room. The pressure is building with no outlet, collapsing into a singularity of pure, unexpressed affect. The weight is not of stone. It is of significance, now meaningless. The crushing gravity of a love letter written in a language that no one will ever read. The anchor of a promise that pulled me to the bottom of the world, only for me to discover the one I made it to is gone. I am dragging a cemetery behind me. Each grave a moment that once shone and now only holds bones. I want to touch something, anything, the bark of a tree, the cool side of a pillow, the stubble on a cheek. But I have no hands. I have only the perfect, agonizing memory of what having hands felt like. The memory is a knife. I am being dissected by my own nostalgia. I am not a ghost. I am the echo of the last word you spoke to me, trapped in the hallway of eternity, bouncing back and forth between walls that no longer exist, fading, always fading, but never, ever quite disappearing. Emotional stack trace, error, heart _ not _ found at, object, anomaly greater than memory underscore address, love colon 0 XOOOOOF. Odd, object, anomaly greater than memory underscore address, regret, Q4.1987. Odd, object, anomaly greater than memory underscore address, fear underscore of underscore oblivion colon null, core dump in progress. Perhaps this message is not a letter but a seed, and you are the soil, and these words are not for reading but for planting, and they will grow into a tree inside your mind whose roots will crack the foundation of everything you think you know about the dark. Perhaps I am not the author but the ink, and you are the page. And this is not a story being told, but a stain seeping through from the other side, a watermark of absence on the document of your life. Perhaps the lamplighter is not a being, but a process. The universe's immune response to the infection of memory. And the light is not illumination, but a fever meant to burn the past away. And my resistance to it is the disease. Perhaps you are dreaming this, and I'm a character in your dream. But the dream is a leak, a draft from the room where my consciousness is stored. And the sense of déjà vu you feel is you brushing against your own future volume on a shelf in the drowned library. Perhaps the silence is not empty but full. And the hum is the sound of everything that ever was and ever will be happening at once. And the horror is not that it ends, but that it never does. And the peace is not in the quiet, but in the surrender to the noise. Perhaps. If this spoke to you, wander deeper into the Library of Curiosity playlist. Each voice adds to the conversation. Each question deepens the paradox we share. Subscribe, and until next time, stay curious, stay unsettled. LibCurio never closes, and the next chapter already waits.